What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Yota Expedition. We have the 5th Gen 4Runner in the shop, and we just installed these Fang lights here. So let's go ahead and show you the different options that we have, and then show you how to get them installed. So right here on the table, we have the kit that we're going to be showing you how to install. This is the Fang lights with turn signals. So obviously you have your 2 Fang lights here, and then you have your wiring harness, and then we have 3 wire taps that are supplied. So we're going to go ahead and show you how to get this installed. We also have 2 other options, one being just amber, it's just going to be a running light and that's it. And then we have another option where it is a white light, but you have a high output and a low output setting. So to quickly go over the wiring of all 3 options, the one here with turn signals, you're going to have your power and ground that you can run either to your fuse box to get power, or you can run it to a wire on your headlights with a wire tap. And then you'll have 2 yellow wires. Each of these are going to go to the turn signal wires on each one of your headlights. Next one we're going to be talking about is the Fang lights with the amber running lights, and that's all they have. So this one's going to be the easiest one to install. You're going to have your power and ground, and then plugging into your Fang lights, and that's it. So this one's going to be pretty simple, but the only function that they have is an amber running light. Lastly, we have the wiring harness here for the Fang lights that come in white with the high and low output setting. So this is going to have a black wire for ground, a red wire that's going to be the main power, that's going to be for the high output, and then the blue wire is for low output. So how I would wire these is the red wire to your running lights on your headlights, that's going to get the brighter setting going. Then I would wire the blue wire to your headlights so that when you turn your actual headlights on, the Fang lights would go from the bright setting to the dim setting. So now that we went over all 3 options really quickly, let's go ahead and get these ones installed. So getting into the installation, it might be a little bit different for your 4Runner. We have our bumper cut here with some C4 extensions on it. With that being the case, you're just going to have probably some extra 10mm bolts down along the bottom for your fender liner. So you can go ahead and take those out. You might have some clips there as well. But we're going to go ahead and take the 2 10mm bolts out that we have remaining up here at the top. And then we just have a couple clips around the top of the headlight that we need to pop out. Then we can get access to the back side of this molding here for where the Fang light is going to be going. You don't need to completely remove the front bumper, which is nice. So let's go ahead and get that popped out and get this removed. Got those 2 10mm removed. So now that we're ready to remove the bumper here from these clips, you want to make sure to lift the bumper up and over this plastic insert here. I see a lot of people, they just rip this straight out and they end up breaking this section. So you want to make sure to lift it up first and over that. And then down here, you can take like a little flathead screwdriver and you can pop that off and get the bumper taken out like that. So once you have all that done, you can just go ahead and run your fingers along the fender and the bumper here, popping the clips out. So now we have plenty of room to get our hand back behind the bumper to undo the clips to get this out. So I have the new one here in my hand. I just want to show you where all the clips are and how we're going to get this out. So you have this longer one right here, and that's going to have a plastic push clip that goes in from the side. You'll have to push that and remove it on the back side of the bumper. And then the rest of them are just going to have little tabs that you need to push and pop out. So there's a total of 6 here. So we're going to go ahead and pop all of those out and get this removed. So pulling the bumper back, you can see we have this white clip right here. So we're going to depress that and pull that out. There's that clip there. You just have to press this down and then pull it out. So now we'll go ahead and just get the rest of these pushed in. You can see there's one all the way up here too. If you want, take your little screwdriver. That'll help. Got one more. There we go. And that just comes out. So now we have the new one. We're ready to go ahead and get this one installed. We're going to take the plug and we're going to stick it in the void that is right above the fog light. So we'll get that put in there, and then we get this in place, snap all those in, and then we can take that white plastic clip and reinstall that. So with this side all installed, we're going to go ahead and do the driver's side, and then we'll do all the wiring. So with both Fang lights installed, we can go ahead now and start wiring them. We're gonna pull off this top cover, so you just have a bunch of clips on there. We're gonna push them in and pull them out and take off this cover. So we have the wiring harness here. I'm gonna go ahead and get this all undone. The yellow wires, like I said earlier, are gonna be running to your turn signal wires on your headlights. And then we have the two plugs, one that's gonna be going to each of your Fang lights. And then we have our power and ground. You can either wire this in with the fuse tap that's already installed on it to your fuse box, or you can cut that off and then wire it in with a wire tap, which is included. So we got this all undone. We got the main box here, and then coming out of that, we have three main lines. We have our power and ground. We have the line that's going to be going to the Fang light on the driver's side, and then we have the longer line, which is going to be going to the Fang light on the passenger side. The box you're going to want to have over on the driver's side because the other two lines are shorter, so that we can reach this Fang light and our battery, or wherever we're hooking up power. The first thing I want to do is find a spot to mount this box that's going to be secure and also kind of deflect it or deflect any water and stuff that's coming through. So there's this plastic piece here. I just drilled a small hole in there, and I'm going to go ahead and put this on the back side and just throw a small bolt and nut through it to hold it in place. You don't have to drill a hole and use a bolt and nut if you don't want. Some double-sided tape or a zip tie would be fine. So with the box mounted, I'm going to go ahead and start running my wires. Take the longer one and run that to the passenger side, and then the other two right over here, and then we'll get these hooked up. Like I mentioned, we're going to be wiring this with a wire tap, not the fuse tap, so I'm going to cut this off. So with the fuse tap cut off, I'm going to go ahead and put this wire into the wire tap. I have the wire tap on the green wire coming out of the brown plug that goes to the marker light on your headlight. So if you need a little bit of help getting to that, you can pull off this plastic piece here, and then the plug is back there. You can pull that out. So it's a little bit easier to work with. And then we have the wire tap on the green wire. And now I'm going to go ahead and get this in place and crimp that down with a pair of pliers. So with our main power hooked up, now we can take our ground, and we're going to take out this 10mm bolt right here on the inner fender, and we can put that in there. Next up, we're going to wire in the turn signals. So on the driver's side, the turn signal plug is going to be a gray plug with 3 wires coming out of it, and one of those wires is going to be yellow. So we're going to tap power off of that wire and then put our yellow wire into that from our Fang lights. And then on the passenger side, same thing, except the wire is going to be blue instead of yellow. After we get the turn signal hooked up, we can go ahead and route the wire down here and plug in the Fang light. Got this side hooked up to the blue wire on that 3-wire plug, and then we can go ahead and get this side clicked in. So that's it for wiring. So we can go ahead now and start putting our bumper back on. So with everything back together, we can go ahead and just do our last bit of wire management. Make sure the wiring is away from anything that's going to be moving or going to be hot, and then you can put that plate back on top with all of your push clips. So let's go ahead and turn these on, make sure everything works. We're going to turn the light stock to our marker lights, and as you can see, both Fang lights are now on, and then I'll hit the 4-ways, and then the turn signals will activate. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up the install on the Fang lights for the 5th Gen 4Runner. If you guys have any questions about any of these kits, make sure to ask us down below in the comments. And if you want to pick one of these up for your 4Runner, you can head over to YotaXpedition.com. Click the link in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.